Hello girls, gays, and non-binary babes. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I have planned to read in general just for fall. And I'm really excited to talk about them. They are mostly fall themed or Halloween themed. A couple, I think just one is a book that is on my general TBR for the year that I really want to get to, and this is kind of like the last hurrah to be able to do that. So yeah, I'm super excited to get into everything, and I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get into it. So the first book is a reread, and I've decided that this will now be my October reread every year. I don't know how many books of the series I'm going to read, but I'm at least reading Practical Magic by Alice Hoffman. I read this last year around this time and I fell in love with it. It is my new favorite book of all time and I cannot get enough of it. So I will be rereading this, possibly the other three books in the series. We will see how I feel when the time comes. But yeah. If you didn't know what Practical Magic is about, this follows a family that has been cursed, essentially, and it sounds like dark and heavy, but it's not really. It's definitely kind of lighter, on the lighter side. If you've seen the movie, you know, which I haven't. I do plan to watch it this year, though. But, yeah, so this family is cursed to every man they fall in love with will die, and it follows two sisters who are part of this family and live with their aunts, and it's a lot of fun. It's so cozy and witchy and magical, and I just love it, and I am so excited to get back into it this year. And if you have not read the book, you definitely should. It's amazing. Can't say anything about the movie though because I've never seen it. I will be changing that this year though. The next book I want to read is one I got really recently, and that is American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. So I picked this up because I really like Mayfly by C.J. Lead. Mayfly. And it's like pitched as female American Psycho, and I really liked that, so I figured I'd pick up American Psycho. Never seen the movie, so I have no idea what I'm getting myself in for. I know it's about like a serial killer and a psychopath, like the same guy, serial killer, psychopath. That's all I know. I know it's very disturbing, so I'm kind of excited for it. Yeah, I'm really excited to get to this one, and I think it'll be a fantastic Halloween read. Okay, next we'll talk about the odd one out here, I guess, and that is a sequel. It is 10 Arrows of Iron by Sam Sykes. This is the sequel to 7 Blades in Black, which I just reread a couple months ago in preparation to read this big boy. I have had this on my shelf for so long and I need to read it. It's just so intimidating with how big it is, and especially because I knew I would have to reread the first one, and that one is also big, so it was like not only did I have to read this book, but I also had to read another book the same size, and it was just a lot. But we're finally doing it this year, finally getting to it, and I'm really excited. When I reread the first one, I really liked it. It is about a woman in this fantasy world. So she has this list of names of people that she wants to kill who have done her wrong, and there is a big kind of realization of what has happened in the end of 7 Blades in Black, so I won't spoil that. But they've wronged her. She is on a mission, but she has been captured. So, at least in the first book, she is telling her story to the like person in charge of her execution. And yeah, this is the sequel. I'm super excited to read it. I don't know exactly what it's about. I assume just knocking off more numbers on her list. And yeah, this is, holy moly, almost 700 pages. So wish me luck. Okay, and the final kind of physical copy that I have is not a physical copy. It's a sequel to a physical copy that I have, but that is The Hemlock Queen, which is the sequel to the Foxglove King by Hannah Witten. I love Hannah Witten's writing. I love For the Wolf and For the Throne, and I really liked this book. I kind of picked this up on a whim at a bookstore I went to just because I wanted to get something and this looked promising. And I really liked it, so I'm really looking forward to the sequel. This book is kind of like a dark fantasy with some romance. Definitely not a romantasy, I believe. From what I remember, it's like definitely fantasy heavy with a side romance plot, which is what I prefer. So yeah. So our main character, Lore, has the ability to do death magic, which is not allowed in this world, and it is punishable by death. So she is like a drug runner, basically, in this world, and when a job goes wrong, Lore suddenly finds herself thrust into a lavish court where no one can be believed and even fewer can be trusted. So she is then hired to work for the king. Very good. Loved it. And very excited to get into the sequel. Also bonus points for being a large floppy paperback. So yeah, love that. Very excited to get to the sequel. Let's get into the books I don't own. So first up, we have, I will throw the photos up somewhere here, but first we have Knock Knock Open Wide by Neil Sharpson. This is like a Celtic myth lore retelling kind of thing, I believe. So our main character finds, sorry, I'm reading my notes. Our main character finds a corpse on a pitch black country road deep in the Irish countryside. What unfolds next is a night of unspeakable horror that will take her to the very brink of sanity. And then I assume that's like half the book or a quarter of the book. And then the rest is 2 decades later. Another character has fallen in love with this girl. I assume Aisling is a girl's name. I don't know. But anyway, they get together and form a relationship. But the girl she's dating has a strange family history, and somehow this is all, I have no idea how, connected to a children's TV show that everyone in Ireland watched in their youth, but the main character soon discovers that no one remembers it quite the same way. I have no idea where that's gonna go, but I am certainly intrigued. So, of course, it's at the very top of my list. I have it on hold already, and I'm super excited to get to it. The next book that I'm super excited to get to, and is also on hold at my library, is The God of the Woods. This is by Liz Moore, and this I think might be like one of my most anticipated books to read this fall. This follows a girl who has gone missing from summer camp, like a 13-year-old, I think, and her brother previously went missing years ago, and her family like owns the camp. So her brother went missing, now years later she goes missing, and we don't know what's going on. And from the title and from the vibe, I think it's gonna be pretty spooky and woodsy, you know, that like nice folk horror. So I'm very excited for this one, and as soon as I get my hands on it, I will be cracking that book right open. Next is a book series that I've been nervous but wanting to read for so long because it seems right up my alley, and I just don't know why I've never picked it up. But that is A Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. So yeah, I've never read these books. I didn't even really know what they were about, but they definitely give the vibe that I would like them, if that makes sense. So as far as I know, we have a vampire, we have a witch, and the main character is the witch, and she finds this manuscript and basically unleashes a bunch of monsters and has to figure out how to undo that, as far as I know. So yeah, definitely tell me if you've read this one and liked it, or I guess not liked it. But this is a fairly long series, and I want to get into some more long series. So, well, not long, but I think it's like 4 books maybe? I don't know. Anyway, I want to get into some series, so I'm really excited to read this one, and hopefully it fits the fall, autumn, witchy vibe. Okay, the next book is one that I did not even know was coming out until I saw it available for like an add-on on Book of the Month, and I need it immediately. So I'm waiting. I can't put a hold on it yet from my library, I think, because it's too new. So I have to wait, and then I'm putting a hold on it as the second I can, and that is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher. This one is a retelling of Goose Girl, which is not a fairy tale I am familiar with, but it's a fairy tale, and that's all I care about. I love fairy tale retellings. They are so magical, and this one's a dark retelling, or maybe just a retelling that's still dark. I don't know if the Goose Girl is dark or not. But yeah, so this book is about a girl who lives with her mother, and her mother's very weird and has a lot of rules. One day there is a suspicious death in their town, so they have to leave in the middle of the night, and they come knocking upon this house of a man and his sister, and the mother is trying to fall in love with the man, so the sister is kind of like knowing what's going on here, and she has to like ixnay, you know, this relationship because mom is a witch, theoretically. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I love T. Kingfisher and everything she writes, so I know this is gonna be good. I know I'm gonna love it. Next up, we have Sin Eater by Megan Campisi, and this one, I feel like I just keep saying this about every book. I'm so excited for this one. I have it on hold at my library, and it is about a girl who steals a loaf of bread, and so she is sentenced to become a sin eater. A sin eater is a shunned woman, brutally marked, whose fate is to hear the final confessions of the dying, eat ritual foods symbolizing their sins as a funeral rite, and thereby shoulder their transgressions to grant their souls access to heaven. Wow. But I'm intrigued. It sounds very dark. Basically, all I know is that this character is kind of existing in this world, and there's a mystery that she has to help solve and basically save another sin eater, as far as I know. So yeah, I'm super excited for this one, and I cannot wait to get my hands on my copy. And the final book we're gonna talk about today is The Eyes Are the Best Part. This, I can't wait. I know I've said that a million times, but this reminds me a lot of Mayfly, I think, or one of those like really dark, kind of disgusting books. So this is a book about a girl whose father has an affair on her mom, and then he leaves, and she starts having these nightmares about eyeballs, and particularly the eyeballs of her mom's new boyfriend. And this boyfriend is very not nice. So the main characters and family is Asian American, I believe, and this man is very like not outright racist, but like very like low-key racist, even though he's, you know, dating an Asian woman. But yeah, and then there's like a whole, I think, like revenge plot against him. I don't know, but I'm intrigued. I love a good family dynamic, fucked up family dynamic. I love a good cannibal book, which is what this is sounding like it's gonna be. I can't wait. Yeah. So that's my list. A little bit of weird stuff, a little bit of normal stuff as usual. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please feel free to share some books you think I might like or something you're reading this fall that is similar. I am always looking for new recommendations. I hope you guys are excited that I'm back as opposed to not being excited that I'm back. I don't know. Or you're neutral. Who cares? I'm just happy to be here. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.